Welcome back to Story Sprout, the channel where we bring you life-changing stories that touch your heart, inspire your soul, and remind you that kindness never goes unnoticed. If you are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an inspiring story again. Today's story is about a young woman who thought she was just sharing a small act of kindness with a stranger. What happened moments later would change her life forever and remind us all that the smallest actions can carry the biggest rewards. It was a chilly afternoon in the middle of the city. People rushed back and forth with their coats pulled tight and their eyes glued to their phones. Among them was a young woman named Claire, who had just finished a long morning at work. She stepped out of the office, grabbed a quick sandwich from a food cart on the corner, and found a bench to sit down on before heading back inside. As she unwrapped her sandwich, her stomach growled. She hadn't eaten since breakfast and was more than ready to devour the meal. Just then, she noticed movement out of the corner of her eye. Sitting a few feet away on the ground was a man, thin and tired-looking, bundled in layers of worn clothing. His face was weathered, his hands shaking slightly as he held a cardboard sign that simply read "Hungry. Please help." Claire's eyes met his for a brief moment, and she felt a tug on her heart. She looked down at her sandwich, then back at the man. She hesitated for a moment. She didn't have cash on her, and she was starving herself. But something inside told her she couldn't just walk away. She scooted closer, tore the sandwich in half, and held out one portion to the man. His eyes widened in surprise, as if he hadn't expected anyone to even acknowledge him. Slowly, almost shyly, he reached out and accepted it. His lips trembled as he whispered, "Thank you, miss. God bless you." Claire smiled warmly and said, "It's not much, but I hope it helps a little." Together, they sat in silence for a few moments, both eating quietly. For Claire, it was just half a sandwich. For the man, it was everything in that moment. Just then, the sound of an engine purred nearby, breaking the silence. A long black limousine rolled to a stop directly in front of them. The polished chrome glistened under the city lights, drawing curious stares from passers-by. Claire looked up in confusion, wondering who it might be waiting for. To her surprise, the back door of the limo opened slowly, and out stepped a sharply dressed gentleman in a tailored suit. His presence was commanding, yet there was a gentleness in his eyes. He glanced at the homeless man, then at Claire, and began to walk toward them. At first, Claire stiffened, unsure if she had done something wrong. The man stopped a few feet away and said, "I couldn't help but notice what you just did. Most people walk right past him without even looking. But you stopped. You shared what little you had." Claire blushed slightly, shrugging. "It wasn't a big deal," she replied softly. "He looked hungry, and I had enough to share." The man smiled, shaking his head. "No, it is a big deal. You see, I've been watching. That man sitting there, he's been struggling for weeks, and no one has shown him the kindness you just did." Then he paused and added words that left Claire completely stunned. "The homeless man is actually part of a program we sponsor. We wanted to see how people would respond. And you, young lady, showed a heart of compassion without knowing anyone was watching." Claire's jaw dropped. She glanced at the man still eating the sandwich. His eyes twinkled now with recognition, no longer just weary but touched by the truth of the moment. The gentleman continued, "My name is Jonathan. I run several businesses in the city, and one of my passions is finding people who quietly live with kindness. People like you. We believe that such people deserve opportunities to grow, because kindness is the foundation of leadership." Claire stammered, not knowing what to say. She had never expected that splitting her sandwich would lead to this conversation. Jonathan reached into his pocket and pulled out a small card. He handed it to her. On it was his direct contact information. He said, "Claire, I'd like you to come by our office tomorrow. We're always looking for people with your heart and values. I think you could make a difference with us." Claire blinked in shock. "Are you offering me a job?" she asked hesitantly. "A chance," he replied with a smile. "A chance to use your kindness on a bigger scale." Tears welled in Claire's eyes as she accepted the card. The homeless man, still sitting quietly, gave her a nod of gratitude and whispered again, "Bless you." The limousine driver stepped forward and opened the door for Jonathan. Before leaving, he looked back at Claire and said, "Never underestimate the power of a small act. The world notices more than you think." Then he stepped inside, and the car pulled away, leaving Claire sitting there in awe. She held the business card tightly in her hand, her heart racing. All she had done was share half her sandwich, something so small it barely seemed worth mentioning. Yet in that moment, it had changed everything. The next day, Claire went to the address on the card. What she discovered was an organization dedicated to helping communities, supporting the homeless, and creating opportunities for those who had little. And because of her small act of kindness, she was invited to be a part of that mission. Over time, Claire found herself not only working for the company but leading projects that changed countless lives. And every time she handed out food, offered shelter, or helped someone in need, she remembered that single moment on the bench, the half sandwich that started it all. Her story reminds us all that we never know who is watching, and we never know how one act of kindness can ripple out into the world. What might seem small and insignificant to us can mean the world to someone else, and sometimes, it can open doors we never even imagined. So the next time you see someone in need, remember Claire's story. A simple gesture, a shared meal, or even a smile could be the turning point in someone's life. And who knows, it could also change yours. Thank you for watching Story Sprout. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us continue bringing you powerful stories that remind us of the goodness still alive in the world. Until next time, keep spreading kindness, because you never know how far it can go.